You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Team Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies.
This is AfterBuzz TV's The Tomorrow People After Show.
We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show.
It's AfterBuzz TV's The Tomorrow People After Show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Tomorrow.
Oh!
But it is not tomorrow. It is still today.
It is today.
And we are talking about the Tomorrow People. Hello, everybody, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV. I am Tom Connolly. And sitting across from me is...
Yael Tygiel.
Yes!
Hello. Thanks.
Welcome to the show.
Enjoying this song, guys.
Glad to have you here tonight.
Thanks. Hey, Roya.
Yes.
You having a good time?
Tomorrow. That's not even the right song.
So, everybody, let's get into the show. Season 1, Episode 15. Enemy of My Enemy.
Yeah.
Intense episode tonight.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Julian is back.
Yes.
That storyline, I was worried they would never pick it up, and I'm really glad it came back.
But I'm also really sad that it ended, too.
No, it was just the right amount of Julian, I think. We met him, he's an amazing villain, and then this time we see him be even more villainous.
Yes, definitely.
And I was sick of him at the end, and I was like, good, they outsmarted him.
They did outsmart him, and I thought it was very clever of them, how they trapped him and the other Ultra agents.
But it's the second time that he underestimated Kara, and she outsmarted him. And I feel like, is she only able to outsmart Julian? Because she's made mistakes in the past.
Yeah, but she hasn't got caught by Ultra. Well, she did once, and she almost got her powers taken away.
Right.
But since then, she hasn't. Yeah, it started with Julian attacking, teleporting into Ultra, just attacking people. But then he gets caught. And you think, wow, why is he there to get caught? Like, why would he just start attacking them for no reason?
There was no way that he... that wasn't his plan.
Yeah.
Like, there was no possible way that he didn't have a motive.
Definitely. And he said that to Jedediah.
Yeah.
He was like, I didn't come here for no reason.
Right.
I just, we see John and Steven. John must be a really good cook. He should, maybe get out of this, war and just go become a chef somewhere or something.
I'm surprised that the Tomorrow People don't eat better.
Yeah, right? I mean, well, maybe they don't have the right facility.
Oh. Also.
Yeah, they are in an, abandoned subway. So,
yeah.
I mean, but can't they? I mean, I have a question. Can they teleport with things in their hand? Like, say I touch my computer.
Yeah.
But why can't they just go up to a nice kitchen somewhere and teleport back with that nice stove?
So I've thought a lot about it. And what we know is that, yes, they can teleport with things. They teleport people. But they can't just keep teleporting because then they're on Ultra's radar.
Gotcha.
So that's why, because I also was like, why don't they just go out at night when it's dark and get food? But they'll light up and Ultra will find them.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense that they're eating crap. But John apparently can cook.
Yeah, he's a good cook.
Yeah.
Makes some French toast with stale bread.
I don't think that's true.
No, that just sounds bad.
The more he said it, I was like, no, I think fresh bread is the way to make French toast.
Maybe they just because they have such limited supplies in the lair that, he just convinced everybody that, stale bread. Stale bread makes it way better. And we get Charlotte trying to talk to John and says, we need him back. They need him back. They want him back in the lair. She misses him. And then Kara kind of interrupts her. You can't bring people back unless they're ready. Yeah. And then we get the flashback scenes, I thought, in this episode were really well done.
Yeah. I'm glad we finally got to see when Kara and John met.
Yes. Yeah, which they met on the subway. She was trying to steal some guy's cell phone. He ends up catching her.
And was that watch not Roger's watch that had a D chip in it?
I thought it was like because John picked up the watch in Steven's room, and that was where he flashed back to it, but that was later in the episode, or yeah. So it does have maybe you have to turn it on,
I guess, but it is Roger's watch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
John used to have it.
Yeah, and then
Kara
she stole it
it.
from him.
Yeah.
And then she gave it back to Steven in one of the earlier episodes, or John gave. How did he get that watch back?
He took it from the lair from Kara for some reason, and John was like, "Hey, that's my watch. It was actually your father's watch. You deserve to keep it."
Gotcha.
That's how it ended up in Steven's possession.
Awesome. Okay. Good backstory there.
I really care about watches, so I followed this.
Really cares about time.
Yeah.
When like down to the second.
Yeah.
But yeah, they met on a train, which I thought was on the subway, which I thought was very symbolic of how they get to the lair and all that kind of stuff. But Kara, confronts him and is like, how am I gonna trust? How do I know I can trust you?
Right.
Which I thought was a good, because she's, was screwed over by Julian. So there's this other guy that has powers. How is she gonna, build up trust with him?
Right. And her only other interaction is with Ultra agents.
Yes.
They're the only other people who've said, we know what's going on with you.
Yeah.
So she can't, I totally believe that she couldn't really trust anyone. And she says to him, like, you want someone to trust you, don't corner a girl on an empty subway.
Yeah. I like that she stood up for herself and attacked him too.
Yeah.
Which is cool. She attacked him, teleported. I would say disappeared. Teleported out.
Disappeared. Teleported.
Yeah. And ended. I guess she showed up on Ultra's radar when she teleported out of there.
Yeah.
John teleports after her, kicks their butts.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome. And she ends up saving John. Like he saves her, then she ends up saving him.
Yeah.
Because he was about to get shot by an Ultra agent, but she used her powers to toss him into the air over the truck, and they get out of there. I kind of want to see an episode of, like, we haven't seen them starting the lair.
Right.
They talked about it.
I think we're gonna get there. And I hope we get there because we're getting backstories and flashbacks. So I hope we get there soon.
Yeah, I want to see like how they started that. Because I know they stole Tim from Ultra, but I'd like to see how they did that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Roger was gone then, or Roger was still around?
I think at that point Roger was gone because John killed him.
Yeah. And that's when he kind of broke away.
He left, when he was forced to kill him.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like it seemed like, but he had all of Roger's stuff still in the lair. Like when John had that, all the experiments and stuff, little gadgets. So, I don't know. I feel like it would have been Roger that stole Tim, Roger that did all this stuff and set up this lair. Maybe we're leading towards that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but once John meets Kara, he's no longer with Ultra.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to piece it together in my mind.
It seems timeline.
Yeah, because it seems very bold of John to go back to Ultra after he, left and steals,
Tim.
$1 million piece of equipment.
But also to this episode, we're introduced to Roger's experiments and stuff.
Yeah.
Different gadgets of his. So I think it would be, here's what I think happened.
Okay.
To piece together the timeline.
Gotcha.
Roger revealed to John, I think there should be a safe haven. I think this is what their needs with the Tomorrow people, whatever.
Yeah.
John was then ordered to kill Roger. I still believe that John knows that he didn't kill, was in on the whole killing of Roger plan.
Yeah.
I think he was totally involved in Roger's mid-death teleportation that ended with him somewhere else. I still believe that.
Okay.
That he knew that he was going to shoot him and how it was going to work out. So, because of all that, then he left Ultra to the safe haven that he and Roger had built secretly and whatever.
Gotcha.
Then he met Kara, picked her up and brought her over. Bam.
Done. I like that. I like that theory.
Thank you.
Let's see it play out on the show now.
Yeah. Timeline.
Yes.
I did it.
So Julian is basically crazy. I mean, we knew he was crazy before, but now he's out for revenge. He tells Jedediah, who's about to take his powers away, that I could find all those Tomorrow people. They're sitting right under your nose. I'll be able to find them. Give me a chance. And then Jedediah comes in with 2 agents or a doctor, and you think he's gonna take his powers away, but no, he shoves a bomb up his nose. I was like, wow.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So gross.
Yeah. And he was like, you have 18 hours, or this bomb's gonna go off.
That sounds so painful.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable. I wouldn't be able to focus on anything other than this thing in my nose.
Yeah.
That is a blue light.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was a cool little bomb, but I was like, man, that Jedediah's getting serious now.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, you know, I know you're crazy, and I need to control you somehow, because Steven, he can control to a point.
Yeah.
And because Julian's just so crazy, he's like, I can't trust you one bit.
Oh, no.
So basically, if you go crazy, you're dead. And I don't care.
I think it was very smart of Jedediah.
Yes.
Because Julian isn't someone you can trust. You
No, he's definitely not.
You
No.
really can't trust him. So I liked this plot device.
Yeah. And then we saw a little Steven and Astrid. Astrid just not wanting anything to do with Steven. Which I kind of like, you know, she's still recovering from basically almost being killed.
Twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I would have horrible nightmares of people trying to shoot at me.
Yeah. I'm glad that she had some sort of traumatic experience.
Yeah.
That like that not the experience, but the
You're glad she got shot at?
yes. I'm glad she had a reaction to it. It would have been way too you know,
throwaway of like, hey, I'm going back to school again.
Right.
Everything's all right.
Right. That words.
Yeah. Exactly. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. You speak, Yael.
So, Julian said, you know, he made the deal with Jedediah. He had 18 hours to find the Tomorrow People, bring them in. And because he worked with Kara, he knows the patterns of her, you know, where they go and get food, and, you know, how they, you know, basically can live underground and not die.
Well, he taught her where and when to get food, which is, I can't believe she was stupid enough.
Yes, to go there.
Like, okay, he taught you where and when, so you now know what it is about this place that's perfect. Apply that to somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, it's Kara.
Yeah. Oh, Kara.
Yeah, and basically the Tomorrow People thought that at first that Julian was getting his power stripped.
Right.
So Russell was excited because he wanted to get his revenge for that gruesome beatdown he got before. So he was like, "Oh, when I see Julian, he won't have powers. Awesome! Like, gotta kick his ass. Awesome." Then I'm trying to think what else happened next. So Julian was, you know, finds Kara and them in the food store because they go to get supplies, which I think is kind of a, you know, I guess they bring like 10 people because they need to get a lot of supplies and it's faster with more people.
Yeah.
You know, get in, get out. But I don't know. That kind of just seems like a bad. I mean, I guess they go to a place that has no security systems or anything, and nobody ever notices. I mean, I guess they notice that stuff is missing, but.
So my theory is this.
Yes.
Because he said that he taught Kara what to do, and so he knows her habits. So my theory is that he taught her to go to a place that doesn't have security, doesn't have cameras, that won't notice. They don't do
inventory well.
Yeah, they
I guess.
don't care about inventory. That they don't put stuff away. That was the other thing I noticed. The lights were on. So he taught her these are the things you look for in a place. Unfortunately, she apparently keeps going back to the same place as opposed to finding a different place that has these same things.
And especially like as you were saying, like, you know, it shows up on the radar. Then if there's like 5 or 6 of them, the radar's gonna go crazy at that point.
Yeah.
And Steven tries to warn them to get out of there before, because he finds out that Julian made a deal with Jedediah.
Yeah.
And he makes a deal. Steven warns Kara, but it's too late. Ultra agents are already surrounding them. Russell basically gets attacked first.
Yeah.
He tries to put up a fight.
Poor Russell.
I mean, his fighting skills are awesome. I want to see like when we saw before that full-on fight scene last time.
Yeah.
I want to see even more
Russell
of him
fights?
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's cool looking. I wonder if the actor has good like special training in that.
arts
Yeah.
training?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he must, because I feel like the moves he does are pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean,
or if it's a stunt double or something.
Right. I think either he has experience or they trained them all well. Because, I mean, there is a lot of fighting in this show.
Yeah, there is, yeah. So they get the supplies. They all get caught. Russell gets tasered. He gets cuffed, so he can't teleport out. Julian ends up finding Kara. He does his Darth Vader mind trick of choking her out. And Steven shows up, and he doesn't want to be noticed by Julian. And this was very smart of him, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he was totally going to reveal himself and get into more trouble because he's dumb like that.
Yeah.
But for once, he makes a good decision, and he slides the tomato can, and he knocks Julian in the head.
Yeah, so Kara is able to get away, and then Steven shows up from the other side of the room and is like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You need help? I heard you needed backup. So everyone, and as he was distracted, as Julian was with Kara, Russell gets everyone else, gets them out. So Julian thinks, oh well, whatever. Kara got to escape, but you know she's good. She can't leave because she won't leave her people behind.
Right.
And then they go over and they find out that everyone is gone.
Yep.
And I like Stephen Lang. He's like, my uncle is not going to be happy about this.
What a jerk! Like, I just screwed you over.
Yep.
You're welcome. Rude.
Yeah, and so they end up finding Julian ends up finding Charlotte because she goes out to find John.
Oh,
poor Charlotte.
Poor dumb kid.
Yeah, well, I was like, why would she go out there?
Because she's a dumb kid.
Yeah, I know, but Julian finds her, takes her into Ultra, is torturing her.
Excuse me.
And I like that when Steven and Jedediah were talking, he was like, how can you trust, you don't trust me, but you trust him with her. And, I mean, Jedediah was right. He was like, well, Steven, I know you're not going to get this job done.
Right.
Basically saying, I know you're playing both sides here.
He says that he knows that he has feelings for Kara, which I guess is equivalent to playing both sides.
Yeah.
But also, he points out that Julian has a bomb in his head.
Yeah, yes.
So he's going to do what he's supposed to, or he will blow up.
Yes, he has a motivation.
Yeah.
Like pure motivation to be like, I don't want to die.
Jedediah can't do that to Steven, unfortunately.
No. I mean, he could if he wanted to.
He won't.
No, he won't, no. He loves his nephew.
Yeah, we learned that this episode. He, really cares.
Yes, yeah.
We'll get there.
We will get there.
Sorry.
So Charlotte's captured. Julian's reading her mind, trying to figure out where the Tamara people live. He ends up, breaking through, finds out where they are, and he says to Jedediah, he's like, I know where they are. I can go there, but I want to kill Squad because I'm going to kill all these people. I don't care.
Right.
We're not bringing them in. We're just going to get rid of them all.
Yeah.
And he ends up bringing Steven. Well, Steven kind of wants to come with him.
Oh, Steven.
So he's like, yeah, come along. Yeah, sure. Which is like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a sign.
Yeah. Come on, Steven. Read that sign better.
Yeah.
I had 2 favorite lines tonight. I feel like we need to do I'll do a segment of Russell's line of the night.
Oh, yeah?
I have 2 of them.
Okay.
One, when they went to get food, he was like, I better get my gummy bears.
Yeah.
And then, so John ends up returning to the lair. And he says, I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Oh, Russell.
I liked both those lines from Russell. So, as they have Charlotte, and John basically is going to go after Ultra, just basically go into Ultra and get Charlotte out.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He wants to get her out. Which I thought was, John is just very bold, and he was just basically defying Kara again.
Yeah.
Saying, like, I don't care what you think. She's one of us. She's this, poor innocent girl.
Yeah.
And she got captured, and, kind of her own fault, but we need to get her.
Yeah, because she's a kid. She needs parents.
Yeah. So John gets his gun because he's like, well, I need a gun to kill these people. He told Kara that he still loves her.
Well.
And then they kissed and made out for a little bit.
Is that in your notes?
I said that they kissed.
I definitely thought you wrote, they made out for 3 minutes.
No. Later they made out.
Yeah.
But we didn't see that, though. So
no, we heard all about it from Tim.
Yes. And then in the last flashback, I like the line where John told her, he was like, well, we take care of each other. We have to take care of each other, which is true. They, really need to look out for themselves and, get each other's backs.
And that's exactly what he was doing when he went back to get Charlotte.
Yes.
Or when he wanted to go back to get Charlotte.
Yeah. So Julian is on the subway. He finds the lair. They get inside. He ends up cuffing Steven, so Steven has no powers.
But right before he cuffs Steven warns Kara that they're coming.
Yeah, yes.
They know, and they're coming.
Yeah, so they all get out of there.
Everyone,
they book it out.
But Kara, Russell, and John.
Yeah, the three main players.
The three who have names.
Yes. Charlotte has a name, but she was captured.
Yep.
So. I like that he was... I mean, Julian is a very smart guy. I like that he cuffed Steven and, called Jedekiah and was like, well, guess what? I have your nephew, and he has no power, so he's not getting out of here. And this bomb is still in my nose.
Yeah.
So guess what? Your nephew's going to die if I die.
I think that was the most genius plan. I think it shows how smart Julian is. Like, he should not be underestimated.
No, definitely not.
And I think that it was a really great turn, and I didn't see it coming. It was a wonderful twist.
Yeah.
And that was the moment when I was like, oh, I really like this character of Julian. I'm glad we got him back. I'm ready to get rid of him.
See, I wasn't ready to get rid of him yet.
I felt it was such a sufficient, evil that I was like, great, he can't get any better.
I get what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just wish he would have hung around for... I could have seen him disappearing and coming back again. Just being that, that thorn in Kara's side of like, I'm still here. I'm still haunting you. But you ruined my life. So I'm going to try to ruin yours.
Yeah, but every time he comes back, she outsmarts him.
Yes, which she did. She's like, she knew they were coming. She's like, I have a plan.
We're not going to shoot our way out of here.
Yes, because we have all these D chips.
Yeah.
So let's use them. Which is very smart of her. Like, she's very smart about that. She can make up all these awesome plans, but sometimes they just get her in hot water.
Yeah.
So, Julian just acts purely on, emotions and rage and anger.
Oh, yeah.
And she just uses her smarts to just, be calm, let's think this through. They're on the subway, they're on their way here. They're going to get in. So, let's be ready when they get in.
She definitely uses her smarts, but I don't think she always has them.
No.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that there are some times where they've been ambushed, and I blame her.
Yeah.
So, recently she's been using her smarts better.
Yeah.
I guess putting her in the leadership role has made her really have to think things through.
And I thought that Jedekiah, when they were down in the subway, he wanted to know how much time was left on the bomb. And I like the girl. She's like, well, do you want me to detonate it? He's like, no. He's like, if I wanted you to detonate it, I would have told you to detonate it.
That was so
shut
good.
up.
That was pure Jedekiah. I loved it. That was great.
And I was like, how is this thing still working? How do they still have... They don't have a visual feed on them. They can't communicate with them.
Right.
But this bomb is still... They can still see where the bomb is underground.
So here was my theory on that. Because I thought about that too. I think they literally just had a countdown. Because at one point they no longer had access to turn it off.
Yeah.
So I think that they just had the countdown.
I gotcha.
So
okay.
either it was going to go off in his head, or he had somehow spent that time figuring out a way to turn it off or get it out of his nose.
I think he was able to access it still, but I think then they got too underground.
Yeah.
Which I like that part where he was like, oh, I can't, you can't get to it now.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. But at first I was like, how is this? They can't talk to them, but it's just still working. I don't know. But they answered my own question. Because then it didn't work. They couldn't. Jedekiah wanted to shut it off. Then he didn't have access to shut it off. They end up, just teleporting around the room with the Ultra agents. And first it was just Kara, Steven, and Julian and the agents there, the kill squad.
Yeah. And
then Steven, showed his hand and tried to help Kara. And Julian was like, I knew you were a rat.
Yeah.
And ended up just punching Steven in the face.
Good.
Yeah. Because then I was like, well, now what are they going to do? Because Steven, basically showed that he's a mole inside Ultra.
Well, then again, he only protected Kara.
Yeah, that is smart.
And Jedekiah knows that he has feelings for Kara.
Yeah.
So that could have easily been explained. Luckily, he didn't have to explain anything.
No, exactly. So then they end up teleporting all around. They're trying to shoot them, trying to kill them. They end up chasing them back into this. It was like a bunker room.
A utility closet?
Yeah.
With,
bulletproof.
yeah. I don't know what it was.
I mean, but the thing I thought was funny was they're like, this is bulletproof glass. You can't shoot through it. But they never tried to shoot through it.
I also thought no one tried.
Yeah, I guess they were just like, well, I guess it's bulletproof. I guess we're stuck in here.
Yeah.
So they get locked in. Julian can't use his powers because they put the D chips on top of the, I don't know, somewhere where they couldn't reach him.
Yeah.
So he couldn't use his powers to get out. Jedediah wanted to stop the bomb because he thought Stephen was with him. He wasn't able to. And there's a big... Julian wants Stephen's help. Says, I won't tell your uncle this if you help me.
Yeah.
And Stephen just walks away.
Good.
Wants Kara's help. She obviously is not going to help him.
No.
Because why would she?
Yeah.
He's been, horrible to her.
Trying to kill her.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, please help me. I won't kill you anymore. No.
Oh, okay.
I'll open this door.
Yeah.
Oh, you just killed me. Great. That was a great plan. I wish I didn't help you. So then Kara walks away and Julian blows up and kills all the agents.
That was a huge bomb.
Yeah. I wish I would have seen it more. I mean, it was cool just seeing, the effect of that it blew up, but I thought it'd be cool more of him just being like screaming like, no, and then it just explodes.
So I thought, because I forgot that we were watching the CW, I thought that his head was going to explode and there'd be blood everywhere. That would have been so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
That would have been. So Julian, rest in peace. All those agents with him.
Rest in pieces.
Peace. Yes, yeah, tons of pieces. I hope they don't open that door to that place again. I hope they don't have to go back there for anything else.
It's going to smell if they don't deal with it.
Well, do you think there's like, obviously there's like rankings, like, Kara, John, Russell. There's got to be someone on that totem pole like, hey, you just broke out. You're new to this bunker, this lair here. You got to go clean up all those dead guys.
The thing is that they want people to want to stay there, so it can't be someone at the bottom. It's going to be John. Like, that's his punishment for being such a jerk.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they have a big hose. They can just like wash it down and drain or something. Ew. I don't know. They're already in the subway, so.
That's true. The rats will probably
It's probably already smells in there.
Yeah.
So.
The rats will get to it.
Yeah. Good rat food, Julian. Julian and the other Ultra agents. And then Charlotte is basically being taken to Citadel.
She's going back to the Citadel.
Yes. Oh, but then Stephen showed up at Ultra. And Jedediah was happy to see him, happy that Stephen was back.
Yeah.
And Stephen made up a good lie of, oh, well, he just knocked me out.
Right, I was on the train.
Yeah, I was on the train the whole time.
It's funny, I have in my notes, wow, Jedediah cares.
Yes.
It was it was amazing to see him care. He was sad.
He was, but he was glad that Julian was dead. And, he said he hadn't heard back from this kill squad, which,
Right.
I guess they all got killed.
Yeah.
That's why they're called the kill squad.
And the bomb blew up.
Yes. I feel like they would have searched more for them, but I guess he was like, well, I got rid of one guy that I don't want to deal with, and, only like 4 agents, so we're good. We got plenty of other.
Yeah, they're all going to die if they're partners with Stephen anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I think that he knows the bomb had to blow up because it was on a time.
Yeah.
So they must have died. He can make that assumption.
Yeah, he is smart. Smart. And then he said to Stephen, I wrote down 2 lines that I liked. He was like, I want this war to end. I would do anything to see it finished.
And then Stephen says...
Yeah, he says, you say this war is about protecting humanity, but you don't know the first thing about being a human.
Yeah.
Which is like giving it right back to him. Like, he's like, you want this war to end, but what are you getting out of this war ending? Like, you have a job with this war going on.
It refers back to what we talked about in the last episode about how all he cares about is humanity.
Yeah.
Yet, all he's doing is experimenting on non-humans and paranormals and trying to figure out why they work and how to take their powers and give them to other people. He doesn't know anything about humanity.
Yeah. And somebody wrote on the comments last week, they said that they think Jedediah is very jealous of his brother, and he wants to bring him back to life to take his powers away, to do the experiment they were going to do on the twins. he wants to strip his powers from Roger.
I believe it.
Yeah, because I mean, I think then they just become equal. Just basically two. Well, and they kept saying that they've never been able to take the
take the powers away from someone and give it to their
yeah. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
Yeah.
And then we see in the lair Charlotte Russell ends up saving Charlotte from Citadel. But she didn't make it there. No. She just gets in the van and she's scared. And then we see John back in the lair. He said, has a heart-to-heart with Kara. He's like, I'm upset about all the things we've lost. And, he thinks things are broken and falling apart. But Kara says that, we'll build everything back together again.
Aww.
I thought that was nice.
Yeah.
So I guess John's back in the lair. Steven comes to find them. And they're off doing some...
Being intimate.
Yes.
Tim.
And Steven ends up picking up, it looks like a flashlight kind of thing.
Something.
That was one of Roger's experiments. And as he touches it, it starts to light up.
Yeah.
So I think Roger knew this all along. He put some part of his, DNA or something in it to be able to pass it down to, if his son found it or if anybody's family found it, they will be able to use this. We don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. It
looked cool, though.
Yeah. I think what Tim said was, I don't know what that is, but it seems to like you.
Yeah, yeah.
Best line.
Yeah, that was good. I did like that line. Good. But the other stories of the night was John and Astrid.
Yeah, Astrid.
Yeah, hanging out together. She's, as we said, she was scared to go outside. She didn't want to leave her house.
Yeah.
As John was doing his, workout routine in Steven's room.
Which I think we should see more of. I'm sure I speak for the fans when I say we should see more of that.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah, do you have a feeling I'd say that?
I figured the ladies out there would like that. So.
It was beautiful.
I wish I looked like John. Yeah.
I think my favorite part is he answers the Skype and it's she's like, why are you there and why are you shirtless? And then he stands up, like he was leaning over, and he stands up to get his shirt, and it's just abs.
I didn't even see it. You noticed that.
Oh, I noticed that. I definitely noticed that. It was just abs in the frame, and it was beautiful.
He must work out a lot.
Yes.
So John comes to hang out with Astrid.
Yeah.
Tells her to get some shoes.
That was the cutest scene ever.
Where he said, "Do you trust me?"
No, before that.
Oh, okay.
Way before they even went out.
Oh, gotcha.
Was when he teleports from Steven's room to her place. And they left Skype open. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That really bothered me. And he just appears there and he's like, sit down. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And then he compliments her shoes. And then he takes her out. Yeah, her
yes.
slippers. And then he takes her out.
Skype must be a sponsor of this show. Because they've used it twice now in this show.
It's possible.
So, good for them. Skype's cool. But
they're not a sponsor of this show.
No, but Skype is cool. So they go, John takes her on the subway and says, she basically needs the right kind of shoes. He opens up the subway doors and being very nice, he's like, do you trust me?
Oh, it was so Titanic.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. That's the first thing I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like...
Titanic, anyone?
But he did not lift her up and hold her above the subway tracks.
What? She's flying.
Yes, they just jumped out the door.
Yeah.
Isn't that line from Aladdin?
That is. Yes,
also,
it is. Yeah.
Nice. Nicely done.
So they jumped out. They didn't ride on a magic carpet, though.
Nope.
They teleported. They teleported back into her house. And I thought it was very it was good for Astrid to face death and not die. I mean, that would have sucked if his teleporting didn't work. That sucked if there was a D chip just sitting on that track right there.
So I get that she was, dealing with the stress and the trauma of what happened. And I get that he was trying to help her by taking her out and showing her whatever. That was the most, that is terrifying. That he was like, hey, let's jump off a moving train.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you want to, she was terrified to go outside. She thought she was going to, be killed if she went outside again. Why not just do a death-defying stunt and, live through it?
Works.
I don't know. I don't know.
And because of that, she got over her fear.
Yes. And she showed up at Steven's house, ready for school the next day.
Yep.
And Steven's like, oh, it's cool you're back. What what made you, come out of your house? And she's like, oh, John. And he's like, oh, so you and John. And she was like, no.
And then she had that moment where we all know what her head was thinking. Maybe.
Abs.
Abs. Yes. She was also thinking, abs.
Yes. So, I thought it was a good moment. It was good for her to get out. It showed that, at least another relationship of Astrid and John to throw into the Steven and Kara, John and Kara.
Yeah.
Russell needs a girlfriend, doesn't he?
Wait till we get to news and gossip.
Oh, all right. Okay, let's get to that right now.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, so I'm so excited. There's this amazing article. Here's what I will tell you on the podcast is that the Tomorrow People has cast Hunger Games tribute. Levin Rambin is the actress. She played Glimmer in the Hunger Games.
Okay, in the
first one. So that means she was one of the careers. She, spoiler alert on the Hunger Games, she didn't make it.
Oh no! What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, only one can survive.
Or two.
Yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Anyway, so she's coming in as a recurring role named Natalie at the end of the season for at least 3 episodes, the final 3 episodes of the season.
Okay.
Here's what I will also tell you is that she is going to be a troublemaker and a paranormal. I will leave the rest of the details out because I don't want to spoil it, but I will tweet out the article if you want to spoil for yourself.
Okay.
Just, there may be a friendship with Russell.
All right. Good for Russell.
Maybe.
I'll applaud that.
Yeah.
Good storyline coming up. Cool. I'm glad. I'm happy for Russell.
So make sure you're following me on Twitter so that I can tweet that out for you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you have any predictions?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Do you have any?
Do I have any predictions? Will you remind us what was in the next time on?
I didn't see the preview.
Oh, you didn't see the preview?
No. Where I watched, I was not able to see preview.
Oh, yes, I recall. What was in the preview.
Okay. Let me know
because
I didn't get to read it either.
I definitely remember seeing Hillary, which is Alexa Vega's character.
Yes.
Steven's partner. They kiss.
Uh-oh.
And then they they make some dirty jokes that are stupid. But my feelings are that they're gonna hook up and it's gonna end really poorly because she's gonna figure out that he's two-timing, playing both sides. I think things will continue going on as they are. Hopefully we'll get more information about Roger. And I think Luca will break out at some point this season. Dun, dun, dun. No, probably not.
I say Luca stay. I think you save that for second season. Too many people. Like, I don't want this to turn into like Heroes where everyone is a paranormal. Let's keep some people human, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want Astrid to ever get powers. Maybe like season 6,
When they figure out how to move powers from one person to the other.
Yeah. Maybe eventually, maybe they find some secret ooze. I don't know. You know what that thing that Steven picked up looked like a canister of ooze from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
If you break it open. But yeah, I think that thing, I don't know what that little like
thing.
Experiment. I feel like maybe it's a way to, seek out other Tomorrow people. And then,
maybe.
Maybe you point it at them and it beeps or something. I don't know.
Who knows? We'll find out.
Maybe it's a remote control from the future. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But where can they find you?
The people can find me online at yael.tv. That's yael.tv. And on Twitter, you want to follow me on Twitter so you can get the news. Instagram and YouTube at Yael Tygiel. That's YaelTygiel.
Gotcha. And you can find me on Twitter at TomTheCom, and Tuesday nights for Supernatural, and Wednesday nights for Main Event. And we will be, Tomorrow people are moving to Monday nights.
They're moving Monday nights on March 17th.
Yes.
But we will stay right here.
So you can catch us on Wednesday nights still. So we'll see you guys
later.
Yes. I think it's on 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We'll see you guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.